these are the things for data wrangling. I'm going to neatly present to you. These are the things that you need for. So you can go here. If you go for file, new file and R script or R notebook, you can start with that. So I'm going to start with R script. So it will be untitled until I save it. So these are the commands that I would need. The first set of packages that I need to bring into the system is these are the things. Select, that's one. Sorry, select command, and then you need to learn filter, okay? And then you need to learn mutate, and the other one is arrange, okay? And the other one is summarize. So these 5 commands are the common ones that we will learn in this course, like for now. So if you learn how to use these things, you start with the initial steps with the data wrangling course, right? So I will sort of type on this one itself, so it's easy for you to see. When it comes to filter and select, so select and filter, these two commands, select and filter commands, these two commands allow you to return only a subset of the rows or columns of the data. Allows you to pick or select, because select is there, I'll just put pick. Filter commands allows you to pick columns or rows of a data frame. So this is basically what the two commands does. Two commands do. If we have a data frame that consists of n rows and p columns, I have already showed you what will happen. So if you have this type of a data frame, and if you carefully noticed, I can only do column-wise filtering here. If I want to filter by like other way around, like for this row, if I want to filter out certain set of values, it is difficult because I cannot look horizontally in this data frame, if you call it, in this list. So that is why we need something of a powerful way of referring to this. So if I draw what happens here in terms of filtering out, if you have, now this is the general form of this, I'll draw it. Now if you have n rows, right, so you have n rows, and if you have p columns, so p columns will go like that. If you have n rows and p columns, what we do is we give a condition. So our condition will be somewhat, I need to pick a set of values where you have something is greater than or something, say the number of, when we give the command, it will be lesser than this. But basically with select command and filter command, what we get is a set of data frame values that has the same column width. So P doesn't change, but the number of row values will change. Okay. And in another sense, now this is what you have seen in using Excel, right? So I hope you are, now it's anyway recording, right? Yes. Is it recording? I think I put recording. Yeah, it's recording. Okay. Now, if I go back to my annotations, and I will. Now this is for the case of what I did in Excel, but you may need another one. This will happen. This will give you with the filter command. This will be filter commands doing. Now, if you want to get select command to work, select command will do is it will select. Now the same thing applies. Now I can clear my drawings. That's what happens with the filter command. When it comes to select command, you have the same thing, n number of rows, p number of columns, like this. And when you do the select command, what it will do is, it say you have these columns, right? Now it will pick these columns for the same n number of rows. So n will be there, but p will be somewhat less than or equal to the number of selections that you made. So that is the difference between select command and the filter command. So now you can think of ways you want. For example, if I go back to my Excel sheet, now I'm using Excel just to show you what is happening. For instance, like But with Excel, I can't do that thing. So if I go here and clear all the filters, what select command does is it will select me only column wise, and then say for instance I need A and C, for instance, and it will basically select. Now it will select this one, right? But the same number of rows will be there. So that is the difference between select and what's the other, filter. So that's the difference between select and filter. All right, now let's try doing the work. So I'm going to call the library. I need the library mdsr. There's a package called mdsr, so I have to install the package. I think package. How do I install it in R? I forgot. It should be. Can somebody tell me how to install things in R? I forgot the code. It's for package, I think. Do you remember how to install in R? Forgot. We can search. Think. So if I don't, I want to install. Install the packages. See, MDS work. Yeah, so it should work. So how to play the command? It's basically control enter. It will play the running command. So control plus enter will run the command for you, and then I'm just installing MDSR. Yeah, it's basically a set of data. So let's wait until it is installed. Right. Once you do that, you don't need to install it again. So you can make it a comment out. So I'm going to get the thing, library mdsr, control enter. So it will be there. And it has some set of data that we can use. Right. So let me open the file that I need, presidential thing. That's the presidential. Yeah, there's a mistake. Residential, that's presidential. Let's see what is there in the case. I think there should be data content here. We got some values here. I think there should be a presidential data. Okay, anyway. So we have a set of data that contains quarterly assets and some values, right? So if you want to select it, we can go to select, and then let's say, all right, most important thing, if you want to get help uh, in R, you can go select and see whether it works. If it doesn't work, I think it goes. For me, I'm a bit rusty with R. I'm mostly working with Python, but I'll get it. That's not a big thing. I think it goes help. It's not. You will get something here on the topic right here. So we'll print out the headers of this one first. I think I need to get the headers. So I have to dplyr. Get this one. This will come as a data frame itself. At the bottom, you can see that. You can see the year and as well as the quarterly, quarter three, quarter four, etc. Now, if I want to select this one from inside, you need to give the select command. So when you apply the select command, you have to, you can see that select dot data, select and optionally rename variables in a data frame using concise mini language that makes it easy to refer to variable. So if I want to get this selection going, what I need to do is I need to apply, first of all, the name of the data set. So if I get precedence here, so it will ask me, it will give me a error because no applicable method for select applied to an object class table TS. So that means I need to give the header name as well inside this one. For example, if I say 1973, that the header for a selection, it goes for a filter, it goes with rows. For a selection, it goes with columns. So I'm going to give quarter QTR to refer to the name here. So, yeah. 1945. Let's see what will happen. No applicable method select apply to object. Because of the data file that I'm using, I think I need to call my original data frame, this one. Let me open my data frame. Rather than using their own data set, I'm going to import my one. So I'm going to, so when you want to, okay, I'll give you that as well. when you want to assign a data frame or a variable assignment, you can show the variable, you can type the variable first and then alter plus this sign. So if I go with that, it's like, say I want the data to be like this, and then I say alter this thing and then say 3, for example. So data 3 will be there and you can see the value. So data 3 is here, right? So if I want to get that data on the console, print data should work. So it is given as 3 here. Now the same thing can be applied to get a string value. So I'm going to give my file path. So my file will be located in this particular address. So it will be a string value. Right. So this will be a string value. And then if I type my name here, it should give me a select all of these things and control enter. So it will show me where it is. File name, I can say file name. Okay. We'll learn here. So I think we have with double flow. Yeah. Right. So next thing, let's see how to import an Excel file to R. So importing an Excel file, let's go. Read Excel is there. So you have to get the read Excel library first and then give the data name there. Right. But I think the best way to do it would be, let's go here. See, we'll give, if I give my file path to this one, whether it is going to work. I'm not sure whether it's going to work because of an obvious reason. Let me see. Yeah, cannot open the file. That is because this file name doesn't exist in that one. I need to set my work. The best way to work with R is to set in your workspace. So you can set your workspace from set command, I think, set workspace. Workspace over here. Now this is where I am right now. So I can zoom into my folder and I can set my working folder from this one. I think the command should be set space. Set as working directory. Set as search for that. Set WD. Get WD and set WD. That's the thing. Set WD. Set WD. The default here. And if I now type get WD, yeah, now this is my working directory. If I now the thing with the working directory is that when you pick the working directory, now this is where you're working. Now R executes somewhere. Now this is R source code, and it is running on C, where you have put. So R, all the execution files will be, the environment variables will be set to R working directories. Now when I set my working directory, it will automatically create a link back to its original working files. So when I execute setwd, what it does is, whatever the command I do inside as a local function, it will refer to the original files so that they invoke the commands. So now when I type, now my working directory, if I type getwd, my working directory is my teachings here. Now in that file, I have your Excel file, which is this one, lookup functions XLX. So if I control C and go in and say that this is my file name, let's see what will happen. No shame in doing mistakes. Let's see whether it is going to open. Yeah, it just opened. So if I say GFT data here, now I almost got my data into this. Right. So this is what it looks like, right? So you have your SSH call, employee name, job rating, and things that you saw just now. So what are things I did already? Forget about this MDSR thing. I think I have to look into the code to check what is the problem there. And I think it is a depreciated code or something. But I took dplyr library and read Excel library. If you don't have these two libraries, you can, if you do not have these libraries, you can install them only. It's like installing it once So that once would be enough, right? And then next step is setting your working directory, your folder. Set your working directory folder. You have your data contains your data containing folder, right? So set to WD will do that, and then just check for the checking. Just check the working directory, and you will get the get W. If you do that, you will get the string right here saying your working directory path. Now there is something that I need to show you. If I type my actual working directory path in Windows, you will get this backslash, this one. But actually this doesn't, this is for a new line command, therefore it doesn't understand this one properly. Therefore you need to give the forward slash when you give the directory command, get working directory and set working directory in that way. So when you do that and assign the data frame or the variable that you want to assignment, for instance, if I do now, I'm going to buckle this one up. I'm going to give file name. I'm going to create something called file name here, and alter reduction command, alter minus sign, and I'm going to assign this file name as a string. And if I put set working directory to my file name here and try to execute these to select them and control enter, it will automatically do that. So I can remove this file name. So, and I am now I'm going one by one with the things that we did. Library taken, file name given, set working directory file name, and get working directory will show you the path. Now then you need to read the Excel file, right? So reading the Excel file into a data frame, right? So you get this one and then just print it out. I think you will, if you go with header command, I think it should work. So when you type that one, you can get it. And also from this data, global environment data set, if you double click here, you can nicely see all the values here. So everything is nicely done. But the thing is, as you can see, it's a huge file, not as much as the thing that I have worked with, but it's fairly large. So if I need to select only the first 2-3 columns, okay, I can follow the select command. So what should I do? I need to know the names of this one. So select commands can come under dplyr library. So you can go to select. Now what I need to do, the same operation that I did there. So select, let's see what will happen. Okay, no harm in doing mistakes. That's when you learn. So select, first command goes with the data frame. So data frame is GFG data. So I'll, to make it easy, I'm going to rename it as select data, selection data, right? And then, right, since we started this thing, I can even clear out clear works in Python. This is CLC or some other, forgot the name, forgot the codes actually. When your CLC is in MATLAB, okay? I forgot the code. Anyway, so I need selection data, select, and then I need to give the header name. So to get the header name, let's see with employee name. Okay, I think in this file it is given as employee name alone. Let's see whether it works, for instance. So employee name, sure, myself, but let's see employee name, and let's see first entry whether it's going to work. So if you find this type of an error, that means your code is, you haven't put the code correctly. So you need to see what it is. So we'll always have to go and see what is the code. Let's go with help, and previous command was help with select. Yeah. So select is in dplyr. How to run the code? Given select.data, the data frame extension that you want, and then one or more uncoded expressions separated by commas. Variable names can be used as if they were positions in the data frame. So it's like, can we use to select a range of variables? Okay, so let's see. In that case, I'm going to use select, and oh, by the way, I think you might have not noticed, if I go like that and say press tab, and press this one, dot and tab, because it's a data. So if I want to select, usually when I press this one, it should show me the set of data. Yes, yes, yes. I didn't execute this one. Yeah, now it is done. Now it should work. See, this one, employee name. So here we have the name, right? So employee name and SS has goes as job rating is. Try to select job rating from here. Selection data dot job, not autocorrecting job. Obviously, it will not work because of the spacing here. Yeah, remember, can go with selection data, numerical and first use. Right. Selection data, I read Excel to get the string, and that is here in this lookup function table. And I'm going to read the employee name. So it should be under the employee name part. It is here in the selection under the selection data. So you have job rating, salary. You can even pick the salary ascending or descending order from this one, and then job rating as well. Extend that part. Yes, try doing that. That's not going to be difficult. Okay, there are some issues with the names. So name employee, then there is a start because of the special functions or special characters used in the Excel file. Some of the characters has caused the names to change here. So if I go here and say job rating, so I'm going to go for a selection help here, and usage goes one or more unquoted expressions separated by. So selection is a data frame. It has these columns, numerical column, SSH. This one. Let's try doing this for the first. Select, okay, select, and the data frame is going to be this selection data, and then you have to give the name. That's how it should be. A data frame extension, and this. All right. So SS hash will not work because of the hash sign there. Why don't we go with job rating? Job rating. It is selecting by column. So, okay. So it's basically selecting the things by the column. If you know the column number, it's automatically selecting the column. So, like in the previous case, in the case of filter, what we did was the filtering what is from the table. I showed you what will happen in Excel if you do the filter command, and then selection here occurs like that. Let's see what will happen with the filter command. I think the name here, string value for command. So you can find the names. It comes as an enter. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay, I'll show you, I'll tell you what happens. When I read Excel, I have given the entire thing as a Excel itself, but I didn't mention the headers. So I can actually go here and mention header, headline or header. Returns first or last part of it. So if my header is true, I think it should work. Not sure. Yeah, it doesn't find the header. Yeah, it doesn't. I think the function itself doesn't have the header. Let's see whether it's, yeah, either an integer or string. Okay. Limits. Okay. It doesn't contain, because I use the Excel read command. It doesn't appear to contain the selection for the header itself. So what actually happened here is that I have the data frame. The data frame is called by the column number itself. So if I print 2, it basically select the second column. So as you can see, let's say the salary is in the fourth column. The column was identified. It doesn't identify the columns as headers itself. So if I want to get the column number 4 here, so I'm going to say column number 4 and press enter. You can see that the selection is there. Let me do something else. If I press this one and see what will happen. Okay, what did happen? So when I put this, basically, if you have learned R previously, if you put this way, or if I assign variable like this, what will happen? And if I print D now, you can see the value started from 2 and it skipped by 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I do this one, I think it works in R as well. I don't know about, I know that it works in Python, but let's see whether it works here. Yeah, it doesn't work here. So if I put 2 to 10, that means it basically increases the thing one by one. Work. 9 minutes. Okay, so it goes backward. I see the point now. Anyway, so what it does is it basically gives the values as a range. Now, when I put the selection here, selection data 4 to 2, what it does is it goes from starting from fourth column to second column. If I give you like selection, I'm going to assign the selection to a variable now. My selection, and I will say this. And now I can simply type my selection. So double click this one and Control C, Control V will do my selection, my selection. So you can see it starts with salary, job rating, and employee name backward because employee name was the second one. Let me show you what will happen if I type it the other way. 2 to 4, enter, enter. Now it goes from left side to the right side. Now the thing with this selection is that I simply took off. Now in Excel, if you want to do that one, it is very difficult. You need to create a new sheet out of it. You have to select this, then you have to refer this one from a different sheet, or you have to save this one as a different sheet. But in R, you can simply play with this one as you like, one way or the other. So let's see what will happen with the filter command. To be honest, I forgot how to use filter, so I'm going to learn with you. So let's see filter. If I apply filter here, and let's say I want to filter, I just give a number. It doesn't work, and I need to find what is it going to be health filter? I don't know. So I just press it, it doesn't work. So how do I try that? I put inside the brackets filter, whether it's going to work, right? Let's see whether it's working. So it works. Subset rows using column values. Okay. So in package dplyr, in library, this one. All right. So linear filter on time series. We don't learn time series in this course. So we will try to get this one. Subset rows using column values, description, filter, functions. Okay, need to give the data. Then expressions that return a logical value and are defined in terms of variables in data. Okay, so that means I have my selection data, filter, selection data. What is going to be my logical thing? To do that, I need to know my data. What is my selection data? All right, I have job rating. Let's see whether it's going to work. Selection inside selection data. So I need to sort of do this filter selection data inside this one. I need to put logical something. So job rating less than 3. Okay, let's see. Job rating less than 3. Let's see whether it's going to work. Unexpected simple in this one. So why don't we sort of do this and see? Okay, it works. And then, so the logic works. Next thing is what? They are combined with the AND operation. Only rows for which all conditions evaluated true are kept. Okay. Data input is grouped. If preserve false, the grouping structure is recalculated based on the resulting data. Otherwise, the grouping is kept as is. Okay, so let's see. False. Okay, if it is true, what will happen? So I didn't see any change. Now, to to do that, I'm going to create another variable called my filter. My filter. Then you have alt thing, and then I'm going to create my filter. Right. And I'm going to execute this one and see what it is. Where is this? My filter. Okay. No data available in the table, which means I have invoked a variable like that. This name is the problem. Let's say salary, whether this is going to work. I remember the code. So when you want to get into the coding, like into the code, so to group comment them, group commenting code, is Control plus C. Control plus Shift plus C. So if I press this one and if I select this one, Control Shift C will group comment it. And if I want to get into the table, what I should do is Shift $mark. So it will give me this one. So previous names were wrong. So I should have inserted these special characters in order to see that. Right. So I'm back with R, right? And it started remembering things from my past. So, so if I want to select this one, should I collect, should I take this one directly? Let's see whether it's working. I want to select this data. My selection should be like this. Say whether I can invoke that selection. Yes, it works. And let's see whether it's actually giving me the results. It does, because previously what happened was I didn't put the names correctly. So now I know the names and I can do that. So how do I know the names? I can easily call the data frame and the selected column by simply putting the $mark. So that becomes my next node, right? I can use $mark sign to select a column in the data frame. So those who kind of work with me should have now identified that we need to learn it by mistakes. So when you put the $mark, you can get the data frame column that you want to select. And when you want to select it, when you want to select the data, you can you can put the name, put the name of the column inside the selection command, inside the select command. So that's what I did. Right. I can follow the same thing with my filter command as well. Let's see. So to comment out the entire thing, Control Shift C, it will comment out. I'm just going to keep this one, Control C, right? So I want this one, and instead of that, I need to see what is the job rating actual name. So selection, instead of that, I'm going to say collection data and press the $mark job rating. Wow. Now see what will happen. And here we have it. If you go to my filter, now I think I started remembering things. I think clean gs equal all should be the cleaning command. Let me see that. Clean Control L will clean the console. So I'm going to put that one as well. Control plus L will clean the console for you. So remember that.